Hi everybody, Mike with RMT Family here. Today we're going to install the ski carrier on top of the Tesla Model 3 roof rack system. There's another video that I have that shows the installation of the roof rack system. This system has these slots here. They're called T-slots. So you can add anything on top there that is using that T-slot type fastener. And I purchased these INNO or INNO, not sure how that's pronounced, ski carriers. They're $140 on Amazon. They were more on the cheaper side. Looked at some that were for $500 that had some good and bad reviews. I looked at these, they had some good and bad reviews, and I decided, since we only use them a couple times a year, not very often, we will try those and see. They may or may not perform just as well as the $400 or $500 ones. There's a whole kit that comes with the installation instructions. There's a spacer so you can get them higher up off the roof. We don't need those here in this installation. We got the keys so you can lock it. We got the long T-slot bolts. Here's a package of the short T-slot bolts, which we'll be using. The wrench that goes with it. An additional sheet to the instructions with more warnings and things, and more warnings and more warnings. So lots of warnings as always. This should be a relatively simple install, and we'll go through it step by step. Okay, so we will need the short T-slot bolts here. You see that blue stuff on there? That's a Loctite, which means it will lock the nut, the fastener that goes on there, into place so it doesn't come loose. And then up here on the rack, we will have to remove the cover. And then we see the T-slot right here. And there's different ways you can do this. You can pull this rubber out and actually cut pieces out of the rubber where you're going to put this fastener. But you can also just push it down and then slide your fastener in, and then you can slide it along into the position where you need it, so you don't actually have to cut the rubber for that. So, and we got to put 2 of those bolts in the front and 2 of them in the rear, and we got to space them accordingly to the width of our ski carrier, and then we'll set the ski carrier on there. These covers here, they come off by pulling on top right there, just like that, as they hook on the bottom first, and we tip them in, push them in on top to fasten, so we pull on top to get them off. So I'll install the 4 bolts at the right spacing, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I got the first one up there. It's not fastened yet, but I slid in the 2 bolts into the T-slot. I'm gonna keep them somewhat on the driver's side, I think, so I have easy access from the driver's side. So you can see I got this bolt right here, and what I found is that if I put the ski carrier on, let's see, there's the hole. Gotta put the camera down here. This, for some reason, there we go, hasn't gonna go. Then I can slide it relatively easy, just like that, and bring it into position just like this. And then I can slide my second bolt in here and put that on. Then I will have to unlock them, open them up, and put the fasteners on. So let me install the second bolt on the back here, and I'll get back to you. So got that second one up there, and I opened it up, and now what we need is a flat washer, a lock washer, and that long barrel looking thing, which is the nut. And to fasten the nut, we need the provided Allen head wrench, and this all will go right in there, and then we need to tighten those down. This side here will be relatively easy. Getting over there will be a little bit tougher, so I'll probably have to open up the door on the other side and reach over. So because I have it over to the driver's side, it will be a little bit tougher to do that one, but I still like to keep it this way if possible, so that I can put the skis on and take them off a lot easier from this side. So now I have the car door open to make it easier to get up here. And then you can see right there we got the nut. I got the two washers underneath it. And then we can start to tighten this down. And then I gotta climb over this way. So I gotta get the door open on the other side and get that one over in there. Get that started as well. So got the passenger side door open, so I was able to climb up here and do the same thing. Put the nut on, the washers on first, then the nut, and then we can tighten it down. And as you notice on the wrench, the shorter side here is what I'm using to tighten it, and this doesn't need to be tightened very far or very hard. It says 3 Newton meter. 3 Newton meter is very little. So right there, just basically tight by just using the shorter side here. Don't switch over this way, that gives you way more leverage, and then you may over tighten, and then you just want to make sure that it doesn't move. That's all there is to it. Don't want to over tighten them, or you may actually do damage to the bars with the bolts being pulled up too hard. So I got them all tightened. They're all 4 in place, and basically just grab them, make sure that the bars don't move. And they're pretty sturdy. I don't see a problem there. Here I got a little gap right there. Same thing in the front. And that's due to the fact that the roof rack system is slightly bowed. That's how it's designed. And because I moved the ski carrier way out, now that creates this little gap here. If I would center that in the middle, or just even a few more inches in, it probably would not have this gap. But like I said, I'd rather have it over here. So now we gotta see if we can install the covers. Yep, Yes, there we go. One. And here. There we go. Two. Got the covers on. And then this has a double click. That's first click, second click. So you can close it depending on how thick your skis or snowboards are. You can close it on the first, like this, or on the second click. And if you have like skinny skis, they will go over that way, and then the thicker stuff will go here, because as you can see, the first click actually leaves a somewhat of a gap there. So thicker skis will go here, skinnier skis will go there for a application, especially like that on the first click. On the second click, we got a flat closer all the way across. So that's all there is to it. Got the key, so you can lock them, and nobody can open them. Same thing here. Yeah, it all works. So you can see only the upper part moves a little bit here. The lower part's sturdy. Now we just need to go get the skis, put them on, and see how that part works. And then we'll see when we drive how much more wind noise there will be, and how that will affect our range with the additional energy that we will be using because of this. All right, got 3 pairs of cross-country skis up there now, and that worked pretty easy. We got the shortest and skinniest pair right over here, close to the center, close to the hinge side of the ski carrier. As they say, the skinniest ones go right there, and then the thicker ones more to the outside, and that worked fine. And I have it locked, and I pulled it down into the second click, so, and the skis seem tight. It's not like they're going anywhere here. Made sure we latch the bindings in so they're not flip-flopping around there, but I think this will work out just fine going down the road. So we'll find out soon here how this is gonna go, but was a super easy and quick install.